Have you ever been in the shops and someone asked you a question like, just this, so quickly that you didn't catch it, and you were like, huh? Or have you ever been stressed about coming up with the most polite way to ask someone to help you find the milk? Well, don't worry. In this video, I'm going to take you through all the phrases you need for some interactions you might encounter when shopping. All the expressions in this video are ones that my family, friends, and I use all the time when shopping. This will give you a real insight into the vocabulary Brits actually use in shops. By the end of the video, you'll have the phrases you need to feel confident buying whatever you want. From clothing shops to corner shops, you'll be ready for anything. Now, while taking you through the different phrases we use while shopping, we will be going on a little shopping spree, and along the way, I will be giving you some cultural insights into shopping in the UK. Let's start with my favourite place to buy things, the corner shop. You might be wondering, what is a corner shop? Well, a corner shop is normally an independently owned shop that offers a range of things you might need. It's often the same kinds of things offered in a bigger supermarket, but only the most essential items as the shop is quite small. Here you can find bread, milk, chocolate bars, and fizzy drinks. It is often situated on the corner of a street, which is how it got the name corner shop. People sometimes use the term newsagent instead of corner shop. The only difference is that at a newsagent, you would traditionally find more magazines and newspapers. Now that supermarkets are taking over and cars are becoming even more popular, the classic corner shops and newsagents are sadly becoming fewer and fewer. But they still remain some of the most convenient places to buy some last-minute bits and bobs. If you don't know what bits and bobs means, you should check out this video, where I take you through 10 slang terms I use every day. I really recommend it, as those words can come in handy in many situations, including shopping. Now, in the corner shop, due to the small, intimate nature, you might enter the shop and greet someone with "Hi" if you see them. If not, you go straight to shopping. Once you are done and you head to the till, you might need to ring a bell, as the cashier may be in the office. Like I mentioned before, the corner shop is generally more intimate, and sometimes the shop owner will start to know all the locals in the area. My grandma was often greeted by name when she would visit her local corner shop. So once you are at the till, you may have a brief conversation. For example, you might ask, "Busy today?" And they might confirm, "Yeah, it's been non-stop this morning." To this, you might comment, "Hopefully it calms down a bit so you can get a break." Or, "Yeah, with all the kids back to school, it must be mayhem." On the other hand, if they say, "No, it's actually been quite quiet today," you might reply, "It will probably pick up during rush hour." Before they scan your items, they may check with you, "Just this," if you only have a few things. This is because there are also a few items they keep behind the till, like lighters or razors, that kind of thing. If you needed something from behind the till, you might request, "Can I get a lighter?" while pointing to the item. Or, can I get one of those? If you didn't need anything else, you would confirm, yeah, just this, thanks. Okay, so if you are looking to do a big shop, you might head over to the supermarket. Here, conversation with the staff is much less common, and if you need something, you would start your request with sorry or excuse me to get the staff member's attention. Once you have their attention, you have the opportunity to ask, do you know where the milk is? I know this one sounds a bit silly. You might be thinking, of course they know where the milk is. In some schools, they even teach you to request, can you show me where the milk is? While this may be grammatically correct, in the UK, we believe it's rude to assume. And in fact, I've had a few occasions when someone has responded with, sorry, no, it's actually my first day. Sometimes in big supermarkets, different people will be in charge of different areas. So they might advise, sorry, no, but Tracy over there with the grey hair can help you find it. So, whenever seeking help finding something, whether it's in the supermarket or in a clothes shop, first ask them if they know where it is. Once you get to the till and you've loaded everything onto the conveyor belt, that's the time you might quickly make eye contact with the cashier and say, hi. They might inquire, would you like any bags? And if you affirm by replying yes, they'll follow up with, how many would you like? When you've finished bagging up your shopping, it's time to pay. Sometimes they will check, do you want to pay with cash or card? To be honest, cards are becoming so popular nowadays that it's often not even a question anymore. Now, let's say you wanted to do a bit of clothes shopping. In this case, you would probably head to the high street. The high street is the main street in a town or city where most of the shops are, like clothing stores, cafes, and banks. When you find the shop you like and enter it, a member of staff might greet you with, welcome, or even inquire, can I help you with anything today? They might also offer this assistance if they see you browsing or looking for something. If you aren't looking for anything in particular, you might respond with, no, just having a look around, or simply, no, I'm all right, thanks. If you are looking for something specific, you might reply, yes, actually, I was wondering if you had any red dresses. Or maybe you have a picture on your phone. In this situation, you can show the photo and ask, do you have anything like this? Or do you know where I can find this? You might also find something you absolutely love, but it's in a size that doesn't fit you or a colour you don't like. In this scenario, you would typically approach a member of staff with the item in your hand and check the availability, asking, sorry, do you have this in a size 12? Or, excuse me, does this one come in black or is it just grey? Here are some of the ways a staff member might reply. They might simply apologise, saying, no, sorry. They could instead say, follow me and show you where the item is. Alternatively, they might say, let me check the back and disappear for a moment while they look for it. Sometimes they'll inform you, sorry, that one is actually sold out. When an item is sold out, they might offer two solutions. They could say, I can order it to the shop if you'd like. It will arrive on Monday. Or they might suggest, It's sold out here, but you can try the shop in the mall. I can see they have 4 left in stock. Now, let's say you need to go to get some medicine. In the UK, would you go to a pharmacy or a chemist? Comment below with your guesses. When you enter, you might approach a worker with "sorry" or "excuse me," or in a smaller place, you might simply go straight to the till to ask your question. A great way to ask for help would be, "Hi, sorry, I was wondering if you could help. I have a really bad rash on my arm. Is there anything you could recommend for it?" In the pharmacy or chemist, you generally tell the pharmacist or chemist your issue, and they are capable of recommending the best item to solve it. Alternatively, if you know what you want, but it's an item kept behind the till, what we call over-the-counter medicine, you would simply queue at the till. Once at the front, you can ask, "Can I get a packet of paracetamol?" Now, if you have a prescription from the doctor, there's usually a separate till, typically at the back of the shop, in front of large shelves of medicine, behind a counter or glass screen. Here you would queue, and once at the front, simply state, "I'm here to pick up my prescription," or "I'm here to collect my prescription." The pharmacist or chemist might then ask for your name, ID, and doctor's name before checking, "Have you taken this medicine before?" If you say no, they will probably explain the best time to take it and outline the potential side effects. It's important to always consult a doctor before taking any medicine, and to always read the side effects. And there you have it. Here are some essential phrases you need for shopping in the UK. Now that I've given you these tips, I really hope you'll feel more confident next time you go shopping. Remember, don't be afraid to ask questions, even if to begin with they are not completely correct. That's how you learn. And staff in the UK are always very polite and more than happy to help. If you'd like to receive practical tips and real-life English expressions delivered straight to your inbox, don't forget to subscribe to my free newsletter. The link is in the description. And if you enjoyed this video and would like to see more content like this, please give it a like and subscribe. See you next time!